all three at the same time. So what we actually built here was a way to, as a WYSIWYG, or what you see is what you get, method to actually build the bundles. So if you just clicked and then dragged one of the items onto another one, like is what's kind of shown here where it's highlighted, it would automatically turn itself into a bundle, which we were just really excited about. It probably spent about a month building that. But that was one that was really exciting for me as a product person. Oh, sorry, I went the wrong way. Yeah, we just kept iterating on designs. This product actually starts showing off some of the key strategic iterations that we identified, which I think I'll get to a little bit later, so I'll just touch on it now. This is basically demonstrating that when we built the company, we initially thought, or we set it up so everybody could easily create blog posts, create the store items, create the listing of events. So if you think of Metallica again, just every single thing that they would actually be doing, we helped make it easy for them to generate the content and then put it on their website. But then what we started identifying was that all of those different components, especially from a data perspective, were heavily connected. And so the more we could reduce the friction between the connection points and speed up the process of using the data to generate the insights, to create the marketing spend, to create conversions of the storefront, the quicker we could get the process between all those different connection points to occur, the faster and more successful we could get it for Metallica, so they could sell more products to generate more data. And so what we started working on and iterated towards was just automating all the steps in between it. And so that's what this was. This was actually pre if this then that, or pre any of the similar such services. But you would create recipes to automate how things would go. So like this one was something that Eric Church used a lot, which was email fans when they haven't been active in over a month. We actually initially built that because while chatting directly with Eric and the rest of his team, they asked to do that. So they had a very specific problem that they'd identified. We worked with them to come up with a solution, and then we implemented it and gave it available to everybody else. So then I think Lady Gaga's team started using it a lot, and then basically everybody started using it because we had gone through that iterative process of the scientific method approach of identify a problem. We did that by talking directly to our customers, work through coming up with the right solution. And once we'd implemented that, made it available for everybody, and really saw that it became a very successful. That was true across the board. So recipes was one of kind of our last big product iterations, but it was also one of the most successful from holistically across the business. Yeah, you can basically see we started off with maybe 5 features, and over time we iterated massively to build a really huge overall platform. Our even just how we talked about the business constantly iterated and evolved again throughout that process of talking to our customers, getting feedback on what was working, what wasn't working throughout the business development process, what was resonating with potential new clients. And we kept iterating what we were saying, how we were saying, and how we were positioning it. And by doing that and keeping a close communication cycle internally, we were able to really gel everything about the entire business, not just how we talked about it externally, but how we talked about it internally, how that influenced what products we built and how we surfaced and highlighted those throughout the overall platform. Everything really started to gel due to having that iterative circular process of iterating to product market fit, which never ends. Yeah, this is kind of the key last final component that we really focused on towards the end there, which I was talking about with that recipes product feature, which is just using data to create automated intelligent tools and services, complement and extend the ecosystem. We never would have gotten there had we not gone through that process of constant iteration. So this is fun because this is kind of the more recent project. Project admission is my current focus, which you can see here is kind of the initial core platform. So Project admission, basically what we're doing is we wanted to solve a way to solve ticketing, live event, music, sports, theater, etc., ticketing. Identified that as the problem. So then we started talking to people within the industry to identify how we could do that. As a typical like startup focused individual, I thought, let's go head to head. Let's try to create just a better system, a better infrastructure, and then win because we were more modern, because we had more features. But having learned a lot of lessons over the time that when you talk to the customers, when you talk to the existing market, you actually have to listen and not just try to hear what you want to hear. Uh, I I learned that the wrong approach would be to try to compete. So in this industry where the incumbents are basically monopolistic mafia sticks, or mafia men who have a monopoly on the industry, you're not going to disrupt them by going head to head because of how they've positioned themselves throughout the industry. Even if their product is horrible, even if everybody in the consumer market hates them, even if everybody who's their client hates them, you're still not going to be able to disrupt them unless you get like bureaucratic oversight that passes new legislation that actually disrobes them. So what we realized was our best approach was to play nice, was to be complementary, and aggregate the existing entire industry so that after we had aggregated and positioned ourselves as a layer on top of them, we could work to intermediate them. That's what we've successfully done. We're basically the only company in the entire world that has aggregated the entire industry and positioned ourselves to be able to be that layer, that singular enterprise workshop that the entire industry is starting to use, that then is quietly a white label service behind the scenes